to build a website, to develop outreach materials, and to help further that message to both our residents and visitors, and really help to magnify the message that local coordinators are already putting out about evacuation orders. In doing so, we're developing our tiered color-coded evacuation system, as other hurricane-prone states have, in order to help message that to our residents and visitors so that they know ahead of time what zone that they're in, and they can react in an event that evacuation is called.
Do you think it'll be easier for everyone to understand? Where are you going to have like Zone A, Zone B, Zone C type of a thing? You'll say, okay, everyone in Zone A, you leave, but Zone B, you stay put.
Absolutely. It's going to be much easier to understand, we believe, because not only are we using a system that has been adapted by other coastal states, such as, even our neighboring states with South Carolina and Virginia, we're using that common naming approach that we know that many are used to hearing, and we're using a streamlined color system that will be the same across all of our coastal counties, from red on up to other colors. So the naming system with letters and then the color coding system will help us to ensure that regardless of what county you're in, you see that common messaging based on the name and the color.
You're going to get this out kind of a pre-launch, if you will, even before we even get a hurricane, so you can teach people about it, right?
That's right. We're really excited. In 2019, we have 3 counties that are piloting this initiative, 3 coastal counties that have chosen to go forward with the zones and test out the messaging and our outreach products this year. In spring 2020 and in the next hurricane season next year, we will roll that out to a full implementation to all of our coastal counties, in addition to some inland counties that will be testing zones based on freshwater flooding, which we're really excited about.
Okay.
All right, Katie Webster, meteorologist, North Carolina Emergency Management. I hope that this, clears up any confusion when it comes to evacuations.
Then it'll be see how they do, because South Carolina is typically early with evacuation orders. So do they follow suit? Hey, we'll be right back with much more here on AMHQ.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Home insurance trusted by more people than any other. State Farm.
With moderate to severe Crohn's disease, I was there. Just not always where I needed to be.
Is she all right?
I hope so. So I talked to my doctor about Humira. I learned Humira is for people who still have symptoms of Crohn's disease after trying other medications. And the majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief, and many achieved remission in as little as 4 weeks.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Here you go, little guy. A cockroach can survive submerged underwater for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Not getting in today.
Terminix, defenders of home.
With trusted protection for all-out confidence, Depend Silhouette Briefs feature maximum absorbency, beautiful colors, and an improved fit for a sleek design and personal style. Life's better when you're in it. Be there with Depend.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. The Center for Medicare Services has officially authorized new benefits Medicare Advantage plans may include. Plans may now include private home aids and rides to medical appointments. Most plans also include dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. To get the benefits you deserve, call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Hi, I'm Joe Namath. I called the Medicare Coverage Helpline, and they instantly advised me that I wasn't getting all the benefits I deserved. They explained I could get a plan that includes dental and prescription coverage, as well as the new coverage for private home aids and rides to medical appointments. If you want to find out what you deserve, call the number on your screen now. It's free. You'll be happy you called, I guarantee it.
Call to see if you can save money and get more benefits now. Don't delay. Call now. It's free. Call 1-800-346-4800. That's 1-800-346-4800 now.
How can weather be that destructive in just a matter of seconds?
Storm Stories. All new episodes Sunday nights at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under sunny skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 96, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 79, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high 93, winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
In the last 40 years, American cities have suffered through 31 major floods, each one causing at least $1 billion in damage. This Wednesday, the Weather Channel explorers and Dave Malkoff begins a 3-part series, Fighting the Floods. He investigates how 3 cities devastated by flooding are racing against time before another disaster strikes. Here's your first look.
We have more intense and more frequent storms. And we can't have a plan that focuses on what can be done fast, but what can be done best.
I could not believe that the rain bands just kept moving in and kept landing on exactly the same areas.
We found some cities that are not messing around when it comes to flood protection, using every tool possible.
I know that there are some who think that it can't be done, but I think that we are only held captive by the limitations of our imagination and our innovation of the technology.
In this series, we look at how 3 cities in this country are fighting the floods.
The Weather Channel Explorers presents Fighting the Floods beginning this Wednesday on AMHQ. All right, short term, let's look at the tropics. And Jim, today's the day that you sort of look to the peak of the hurricane season.
Yeah, I mean, August 20th, you know, through mid-September, late September, certainly that's when it cranks up. You still have about 83% of the season left here. But let's see if the tropics have really changed overall, if you will, kind of getting into this date, you know, because sometimes it's like a switch that goes off, but we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen that. We'll talk a little bit about 97L, Invest 95E, and really what isn't here at all as any kind of an invest is this next surge in tropical moisture, which is coming through the Western Caribbean right now, is off in the Bahamas and giving you some unsettled weather this morning in South Florida. So you can see on the visible this little area of low pressure with some thunderstorms kind of on the north and eastern quadrant of this. Still sheared. Certainly not developing anytime soon. Here's this wave that's coming through the Caribbean right now, and it's going to make its way into the Gulf and eventually up toward the northern and western Gulf Coast. But notice the colors, the orange and the red and through here. Coming north, this is Thursday, Friday, into Saturday here. Some of the ensemble members, and actually many more this morning than what we had yesterday, are actually picking up on something. A couple of them have a sub 1,000 millibar low. So we had more than we had yesterday. And I just think that's interesting because what that says is, okay, so we have a couple more members that they put in here that are trying to develop this. Here's the deal. Like last week, whether it develops or not, I certainly think the bottom line is the rainfall from Houston to Pensacola. Enhanced rainfall, probably heaviest concentrated, at least from what we see right now, over southern Louisiana. All right, the rest of the MDR, which we call the main development region here, is as quiet as a church mouse. A lot of sinking air, a lot of stable air going on through here, even some shear on the southern side of this. But I wanted to show you, again, this looks very much like what we would see in August. 3 waves marching across Africa. What the models don't do with any of these are develop them into late August and early September. So for the moment, Steph and Jen, things remain quiet.
Well, not so quiet on Rehoboth Beach, Delaware yesterday as we had umbrellas that were flying across the beach. This certainly could have impaled somebody, but thankfully it looks like everyone's off there, or at least almost everyone's off the beach.
Yeah, but look at this. So you can imagine the winds. They were actually as strong as 59 miles per hour at Rehoboth Beach, 75-mile-an-hour winds at Lewis Beach, which is about 10 miles away. And the view of the sky, like none we've ever seen, actually.
Yeah. Very dark clouds.
Very
and
dark.
We want to show that to you here.
It gets, really, in the afternoon.
What's interesting is look at their name, Jen. Umbrella, that guy.
That guy.
But they had, he had the umbrella in his name. Anyway, you see all the dark clouds that are here. This, of course, then brought very strong winds and heavy rain as well.
And look, underneath the thunderstorm cloud, you can see how just turbulent everything looks. I mean, just look how dark those storm clouds are. And then when we take a closer look, though, at a still image, you really can get a feel for what's happening in this storm cloud. I mean, have you ever seen this before?
No.
It looks like an elephant trunk.
Right, but this right here is a roll cloud. We have a thunderstorm here, a thunderstorm there, just to make this easy. First of all, roll cloud develops because you have winds coming out of the thunderstorm and then winds going up in the thunderstorm. And in between that is where you get that roll cloud happening.
And sometimes it's a shelf cloud. A roll cloud is when it's not connected exactly. And, you know, you literally get this overturning of air right here. And this got sucked up into the updraft of the next thunderstorm that was right next to it.
Which possibly was a supercell. Some people were saying there was some rotation with it, but we've just never seen, usually that roll cloud's well out ahead of the storm because the gust front kind of pushes it out far.
And just to see it get
pulled into the next one.
Into the updraft is
never have
phenomenal.
I ever.
Let's look at the next. All right, so the forecast. So we've got a look today at more thunderstorms, possible south, like south of Mason-Dixon. Tomorrow it's back, though, into New York City. And I think today, actually, Rehoboth Beach, Lewis Beach, all could have a thunderstorm.
Well, it's all scattered is the thing, right? So it's like, yes, you could have one there, or the bulk of it could be up into upstate New York.
Yeah, and that's key tomorrow with the front coming in, Jim.
All right, in everyone's life, a little rain, beach umbrella, and mattresses must fall, right? But if you're lucky, there's a reward on the other side. Here we go. In some of these storm clouds across Asia, the rainbow captured gracing the skyline over Bangkok, Thailand. Look at this thing. Captured, of course, against the dark gray clouds as thunderstorms were approaching on Monday. Unfortunately, you can't see the double rainbow in this video, but as we know, Jen Carfagno, Stephanie Ames, they're all doubles.
They are. Well, look how faint the primary one is. It's 8 times brighter than...
You seem disappointed. You seem very disappointed.
I do. I like to see the double. All right, but that's a nice full rainbow. All right, everyone, have a safe day.
And my sunny disposition today.
Oh, we should have left you with the sun on your face.
Yep.
Banjo. I found you.
Go home.
Banjo. Sorry, it won't happen again.
On an endless road.
Come on, let's go home.
Oh, I found you.
After 10 years, we've covered a lot of miles. Good thing I got a Subaru.
Love is out there. Find it in a Subaru Crosstrek.
Get 0% during the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Exactly. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Nice. But, what's up with your partner?
Not again. Mimo, that's your reflection. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
And the record for longest lasting AA battery goes to Energizer Ultimate Lithium, Guinness World Records title holder for longest lasting AA battery.
Paid spokesperson. Attention. This is a legal alert for anyone who has used Roundup Weed Killer and been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. If you used Roundup Weed Killer and have been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you may be entitled to significant compensation. A multi-million-dollar verdict was recently awarded to a man whose non-Hodgkin's lymphoma was linked to Roundup Weed Killer. If you used Roundup Weed Killer and were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now.
To look at me now, you don't see psoriasis. You see clear skin.
You see me.
But if you saw me before Cosentyx,
I was covered. It was awful.
but I didn't give up. I kept fighting.
I got clear skin with Cosentyx.
3 years and counting. Clear skin can last.
See if Cosentyx could make a difference for you. Cosentyx is proven to help people with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis find clear skin that can last. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting Cosentyx, you should be checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you've received a vaccine or plan to. If you have inflammatory bowel disease, tell your doctor if symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
See me now. I'm still clear.
How sexy are these elbows?
Get clear skin that can last. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
Let's get down to business. The business of Atlanta on Monday, Cincinnati on Tuesday, Philly on Wednesday, and Thursday, back to Cincinnati. Modernized Comfort Inns and Suites have been refreshed because when your business keeps going, our business is you. Get the lowest price guaranteed on all Choice Hotels when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
Winds fast enough for a speeding ticket on the highway. Mother Nature's speed gun could clock over 60 miles per hour with winds with a line of storms blowing through the Midwest. The timing to keep you on your feet and away from the storms.
And from high winds to high water, tropical downpours could turn intersections into waterways across parts of the Gulf Coast and the Southeast today. We'll look at how long we'll be in this rinse and repeat pattern next.
And will Iceland need a new name? What scientists are bidding farewell to and why it could be the first of many goodbyes. Those stories on Weather Center Live. That's right now. Well, a rude awakening for millions in the Midwest this morning. I'm meteorologist Alex Wallace.
And I'm meteorologist Leanna Brackett. When will the tropical rain finally stop in the south? You may not like the answer we're going to have for you coming up. But first, let's get to the storms. We saw wicked storms roll through North Carolina, including Raleigh, where a microburst came down. The National Weather Service office reported winds gusting up to 56 miles an hour, plus dime-sized hail. We had storms roaring through Virginia as well, with high winds, and in Providence, Rhode Island, downpours caused street flooding. Only 4/10 of an inch reported at the airport. But as you can see, heavier amounts of rain fell locally. So we still have more shots for rain, Alex, across many parts of the country.
Indeed, indeed. Now, right now, it's the Midwest here in the thick of some of the pretty intense storms that are bringing a lot of lightning and some high winds. Here's a look at Iowa City there on the left. Certainly looking gray and dark, where it's been a bit of a rough morning. St. Louis on the right. We'll be watching you for storms to try to move on in there. So, yeah, a lot of areas here in a widespread zone that we're going to be watching that threat for some of these storms. Looking at things here for us on the satellite view, and you can clearly see the big, just massive blow up of the clouds here from the overnight hours through this early part of the morning. It's a big complex of storms that we've been following, tracking its way on through parts of Iowa, now starting to spread its way on into western Illinois as well as northern sections of Missouri. There's that cluster that is in place. Along with it, we've got a number of areas under flash flood warnings and even severe thunderstorm warnings as well. Let's get a little bit tighter here, and you can see what's been happening here. You can see sort of the shape of this thing that's kind of bowed out here for you. You see that showing up on the radar. That's a clear indication that you're going to be talking about the potential for some strong and potentially damaging winds. In fact, right now, severe thunderstorm warning, Henderson, Louisa, and Mercer counties. That does include Mercer until 9 a.m. here for you. Watch out the potential for winds that could be in excess of even 70 miles per hour. It's not out of the question out there for you. And then we've got the flash flood warnings as well. These things are dumping quite a bit of rain out there. Also, look at some of the reports coming in here for you. That counties include Iowa, Johnson, and Lynn counties here under a flash flood warning until 12:30. And there in Cedar Rapids, several roads experiencing some of that flash flooding there. So if you are heading out and about, if you have to, and you encounter some of that ponding on the road, please turn around, go another route. Several other reports coming in. Des Moines at the airport, 2.3 inches of rainfall there. You head over towards New London, spotter reporting a 70-mile-per-hour wind as well. And in Lacona, reports of a confirmed tornado here showing up there. Buildings actually demolished on the north side of town. So again, these storms have definitely meant business. Now, within this whole area that you see the yellow, that's where we have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect until 3 o'clock. So we're talking getting into the afternoon hours, just to the south and west of the Chicagoland area. But that does include St. Louis, back over towards Columbia, all included in that severe thunderstorm watch. Main threat within the watch area is going to be damaging winds that could be in excess of even 70 miles per hour with these storms. Let's get up towards the north a bit here now. We're heading up into Minnesota. There's a line of storms, a lot of lightning associated with that. Nothing severe for the moment, but lots of lightning and very, very heavy rain. That's tracking towards the south and the east. Eventually may try to get you down around Minneapolis. We'll have to keep an eye on you. Otherwise, here's how things are faring for the rest of the day. We'll be following this zone in the red. That's where we have the greatest risk for dealing with some of the severe storms likely in that zone. And again, the biggest threat will be that wind. Hail the threat out there for us as well. That's something that we'll have to certainly keep an eye on here for our day as we follow that main complex tracking on off towards the south and the east. There it is by about lunchtime, blasting its way across central parts of Illinois, just north of St. Louis by that point. And then as we get towards that 2, 3 o'clock time, looks like a line of storms does begin to move through St. Louis and then moving its way across Indiana and towards the Ohio River. Now we'll have to deal with storms. Starting to see it kind of diffuse a bit here, that big complex. But nonetheless, even by this evening, a few showers and storms, parts of the state of Lower Michigan, getting into Ohio, also seeing some storms there. So a pretty active Tuesday with thunderstorms.
And it's been an active week so far. Listen to that wind, this storm blowing through Heathsville, Virginia just yesterday. The area was under a tornado warning and a flash flood watch Monday evening. So these storms are lashing the Northeast. You haven't had much break, and you're going to see it once again for tomorrow. So all that mess that Alex was just showing us through the Midwest and into the Ohio River Valley, it's going to be spreading into the Northeast, parts of New England under the gun as well. Possible severe weather in that darker red zone, mainly chances for wind and hail, but it does extend even further south, clipping parts of Philly, New York, Boston. You're included in that threat. So that cold front that's bringing in all that energy, it's already moving through the plains and the Midwest right now, but now it's going to head and bring in that surge of moisture ahead of that front as it heads into the Northeast tomorrow. We have a lot of warm temperatures in place. Those temperatures are definitely warming up. It's already been that way. And we have these strong upper level winds that are going to add that potential for lift and also bring that potential to mix down to the surface. So taking a look at starting the clock at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we see some sporadic cells, just a few showers picking up. It really starts to intensify into the afternoon hours and starts really picking up. Some bands could have some major wind picking up, 60, 70 mile per hour winds not out of the question. As we get into the late evening hours, 11 o'clock, it's starting to approach New York, and we're going to see quite a bit of action and plenty of lightning as well. So, of course, these storms are packing a punch. They're super juicy, a lot of rain associated with them. That's why we have the potential for flash flooding Wednesday through Thursday morning. And a quick look at your forecast in Burlington, Vermont. We do have that severe thunderstorm throughout Wednesday and Wednesday night, Alex.
Well, you know, it's going to be miserably hot and muggy in the Northeast today. Cooler temperatures, though, are on the way once the region gets past this next batch of storms. As Jen Carfagno explains, people are just trying to muddle through.
Blinding downpours on the Jersey Shore. Long, rolling groans of thunder in Connecticut. Knife-sharp streaks of lightning in Massachusetts. Along with 2-inch hailstones. Flooded streets in Providence.
The wind is screaming across this field right now.
And 75-mile-an-hour gusts outside Philadelphia.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Nature seemed to throw everything it had at the Northeast Monday. Even delivering a sultry and soupy package of miserable August heat.
It is so hot outside. I probably should not be wearing long sleeves.
Right now, really hot. Yeah.
The blast of furnace-like air didn't keep Josh Gilman and his friends from their volleyball game in New York.
Got to hydrate. Oh, yeah, a ton of water. Yeah. Gatorade, they have a deal over there, actually. It's pretty cheap to buy some big Gatorades. So big Gatorades, ice, water.
Most anyone who gave up air-conditioned comfort made sure their outdoor stay was short.
I haven't really ventured too much out of my apartment the last few days, mostly because it's disgustingly hot and humid.
I was walking my dog earlier, and I made it around the block. I was going to go longer, and I was like, nope, we're going back in the house.
Plenty of people are eager for the heat to scoot away, replaced by refreshing fall air. But snow? Are you kidding? Don't push it.
Are you looking forward to winter?
No.
All right, well, record high temperatures. They were set yesterday in Boston, Hartford, Norfolk, Richmond, and D.C. So a lot of areas are dealing with that heat. Well, yet again today, we'll be watching some spots for heat issues, heat advisories. You can see the zone that's in that red. That does include Wilmington, Philly, back up towards Trenton here for you. That's a combination of the heat and humidity making it dangerous to be out and about, particularly during the afternoon period. So here we have a pretty widespread area from the upper Ohio Valley all the way up into New England, where high temperatures will be anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees above average. So what does that mean in actual numbers? Well, here you go. Forecast highs for the day, topping out right around 93 in D.C. Charleston, West Virginia, 96 showing up there, with Richmond right around that 95-degree mark. That's just half the story, though. Once you factor in the humidity, look at the values and what it'll be feeling like. And yeah, the core of that real heat, you can see it here, the mid-Atlantic zone. That's what we'll be talking about. Some of these areas in the triple digits when it comes to the heat index values, and not too far from that. I mean, 99 for Charleston, Lexington, and Cincinnati for your forecast heat index are there for you. So when's the things going to cool down? Well, here we go. There's a bit of a dip in the jet stream. We're finally going to see that buckle just a bit. So as that happens, that will allow for some cooler air to settle in. More comfortable air comes on in behind our cold front. Now, the front will help to spark off some storms, but behind it, there, look at that. Blue shades. And at this time of the year, you like to see blue shades. Liana?
All right, Alex. Well, it's another day of tropical downpours all along the Gulf Coast today. This is what it looked like yesterday. In Panama City, more than 5 inches of rain was recorded throughout the morning. That unfortunately led to flash flooding, and police were forced to close portions of several streets. And again, those barricades are there for a reason. You never want to drive around them. That's how a lot of deaths happen, unfortunately. In the past 48 hours, especially across the Florida Panhandle, we've seen a lot of rain. Take a look. Almost a foot in these dark red zones. This accumulation zone says that it's 11.5 inches in the past 48 hours. Panama City getting clipped with 3 to 5, and Apalachicola seeing similar amounts as well. You're finally seeing a lighter side of rain right now, but things will definitely intensify as we zoom back out. Big picture here. We will continue to see this zone stay very, very soaked. Let's head into the Carolinas, where we're watching some storms roll through and getting closer on into Columbia. And if we time out the threat for the rest of the day, we do have the clock starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. The Carolinas, you actually stay very, very active, and even parts of Georgia as we get through this afternoon. You do get a break across the Florida Panhandle for the most part. A few stray showers bubbling up as we get through the evening. And then back here in towards Louisiana, you also have that shot for thunderstorms rumbling through. So plenty of lightning, plenty of rain. We also have that chance for wind, as well as plenty of super saturated environments. So the potential for flooding is definitely there, and it finally subsides closer to about 2 a.m. Well, lightning, of course, a big part of these tropical downpours this week. And as we know, Florida, the lightning capital of the United States. Mark Elliott explains what makes the state so dangerous when it comes to the weather.
Lightning. Warm nights roll in, and so does the thunder. Lightning strikes the U.S. about 25 million times each year, but one state sees more strikes than any other. Florida is the lightning capital. On average, just over 20 cloud-to-ground strikes occur per square mile yearly. That is about 1.1 million strikes each year. Florida also sees the greatest number of thunderstorm days per year. Fort Myers experiences on average 88 days with thunderstorms. And Tampa is a close second, with thunderstorms roaring almost 83 days out of the year.
Florida is an extremely hot, humid environment. They're sort of like giant capacitors. There's a much stronger charge separation there because of the amount of heat and humidity and the turbulence that creates. So it allows more energy to be stored in those clouds, and then when it's released, you get more lightning.
Florida's closest contender is a small area in northern New Mexico. Cimarron sees thunderstorms about 110 days out of the year. In July, you have a good chance of seeing a thunderstorm every day. Lightning can be fatal. Whether you're in Florida, New Mexico, or anywhere else, take heed during thunderstorms. And when thunder roars, go indoors.
Ugh. Yeah, and I was just showing people the next 24 hours, really. But unfortunately, the Gulf Coast, the Southeast, you stay wet pretty much the entire week, Alex.
Yeah, it's going to be filled with those downpours, those tropical downpours. That's exactly what we'll be dealing with here. Let's talk about and focus it here. This is the forecast here, the rainfall that is to come through Friday here. So essentially for the rest of the work week here, we'll be looking for this area here right along the Gulf Coast to add up. It looks like a general 1 to 2 inches, but got to put the usual sort of asterisks on that there could be some locally higher amounts certainly adding up as we continue to deal with this boundary. The stationary front just hanging out here right along the coast, and all kinds of tropical moisture just hanging around as well. So tropical moisture front that means rain, and some of that rain could be certainly torrential at times. And it's going to come in rounds of rain showers as well as storms right along that Gulf coastal zone. So beach plans, we certainly could see those being impacted for tomorrow into Thursday. New Orleans will see some showers and storms back over towards Pensacola, Apalachicola. You certainly saw your fair share of rain yesterday. Could look for more of that as we work towards the end of the week. And then here's your Friday. Lower Mississippi Valley getting involved in some of those scattered showers as well as storms. Maybe a bit of a quieter spell South Georgia and towards northeast Florida there. Doesn't mean there won't be any chance for rain. Just your chance will be a little bit slimmer. But as we look towards the Gulf of Mexico here, deep surge of tropical moisture hanging around here, and that is going to be working its way on off towards the north, so impacting us right back into the Gulf Coast states. Looks like we could see, can't rule out maybe a weak area of low pressure trying to develop, something we'll keep an eye on and monitor, but regardless, it's the moisture surging northbound, and that's what's going to provide us with quite a bit of wet weather with more rounds of rain for the latter part of the week, heading into the weekend.
All right, well, got to bust out those umbrellas for sure. Well, coming up, where the heat will bake millions in the central U.S. today. Plus, we'll head out to Iceland with our Dave Malkoff to show you the stunning effect heat is having on the island's glaciers.
Try Target same-day delivery. Deliver to your door so you can do more. More thrill. More skill, more chill. Target run and done.
And the record for longest lasting AA battery goes to Energizer Ultimate Lithium, Guinness World Records title holder for longest lasting AA battery.
No one loves us quite like our pets. Now, watch Pets 2 and share the love with every member of your family.
My doggies.
When I am helping a customer, I need to treat everybody the way I would want them to treat my family. I want them to know that I really want to help you. That's what I'm here for.
Fixed right, priced right, right on time. The triple promise, only at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
I don't keep track of regrets, and I don't add up the years. But what I do count on is Boost.
Delicious Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink has 20 grams of protein, along with 26 essential vitamins and minerals. Boost High Protein. Be up for life.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Glue, the super strong rubberized glue. Flex Glue's a powerful adhesive with amazing instant grab. It locks into place and it holds on tight. And now there's Flex Glue Clear, the crystal clear rubberized glue that you can see right through. Imagine everything you could do with Flex Glue. Flex Glue Clear and the entire Flex Seal family of products.
You wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else. Why accept it from your allergy pills? Flonase Sensivist. Nothing stronger, nothing gentler, nothing lasts longer. Flonase Sensivist, 24-hour non-drowsy allergy relief.
So, Kim, you going for a big Drive Safe and Save discount?
Yep, using the app. I've been quite vigilant.
Sharon says step on it. The meeting started.
Okay, write her back. Dear Sharon, don't mess with my discount.
Faster, Mommy. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I do too, honey, but we're gonna hold it for Mommy's discount.
Easy. But you're in labor.
Don't mess with my discount!
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save from State Farm.
April 18th is National Piñata Day, but you don't need to hit a papier-mâché unicorn to get stuff you want. Just become an AARP member. Get health tips, learn about the latest tech, have nights out at local restaurants, and more. Get your AARP membership today.
Would you like to try a burger made with plants?
Plants.
It's delicious, and I am a kid, so if I like it...
Morningstar Farms, America's favorites, made from plants.
At Credible.com, we've helped tens of thousands of people save money by refinancing their student loans. In 3 minutes, we'll get you actual rates from multiple lenders. We could save you hundreds of dollars a month.
Visit Credible.com to see how much you could save.
I got things I want to do, but student loans were holding me back. Credible.com helped me save $600 a month with a great rate. Now I can go do what I want to do.
Visit Credible.com to see how much you could save on your student loans.
This is Kate.
Hey.
She takes 2 prescriptions.
Kate's son Jack takes one too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance, but she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
How can weather be that destructive in just a matter of seconds?
Storm Stories. All new episodes Sunday nights at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 96, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear, low 78, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high 94, winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Heat, more heat. That's the story for us. That's what we've got from the Mid-South through the Southern Plains down into Texas. Another hot day that we've got. Yes, it's the middle to end of August, and it's supposed to be hot, but man, it's getting brutal out there, that's for sure, as we've got excessive heat warnings here. That includes Oklahoma City, and then surrounding that in all the areas in the red, Kansas City, Dallas, Shreveport, Memphis as well, all under heat advisories here as we work our way through this evening. Let's talk specifics, though, as we head through the day. Temperatures that'll be at or above average here for you. We've got the above average conditions in the sort of yellow-orange shade, so that includes, again, the western half of Oklahoma, there into the panhandle of Texas, and certainly a number of areas as you get into parts of the Four Corners are going to be well above average. Then we look at some of these numbers for the day, topping out about 100 in Dallas, the same in Oklahoma City. Dodge City, how about 101 there for you, with Little Rock topping out right around 96 degrees. So a lot of mid-upper 90s and triple digits that we're going to deal with here for the day. Then we add in a bit of the humidity. Now it's starting to feel even hotter. 106 to feel like temperature in Little Rock, with 105 there in Dallas. So one of those days that if you have to be out and about, making sure you're taking those breaks, seeking the shade, staying hydrated is what you want to be doing. Big ridge, that's essentially dominating a good chunk of the country here. So that's why the temperature is so warm in a number of spots, including the Northeast, then back into the Southern Plains, Southwest as well. 5 to 15 degrees above average is essentially what we've got. We do want to continue to drive home our scorching car scale, sort of illustrating just how hot these cars can get when they're in that sun. Pittsburgh is spot 88 degrees forecast for the day. Well, after 10 minutes, it's going to be 107 in that car. After a half an hour, 122 degrees, getting to dangerous territories and dangerous levels. So we got to make sure we're checking and keep checking that back seat before you lock up and walk away.
Scary moments, powerful sights and sounds from yesterday's violent storm that ripped through Raleigh, North Carolina. The thunderstorm downed trees, knocked out power to roughly 30,000 people at one point. But today, crews are cleaning up the mess left behind. We're going to take you live now to Raleigh, where the Raleigh-Durham International Airport, you do have that shot for seeing some impacts, but as of right now, we do want to show you travel conditions that could be definitely seeing some delays thanks to the thunderstorms that are rumbling through.